was aghast, but he inadvertently had made the thumbless four-finger handshake of Masonry, which identifies oneself as a brother. Indeed, in the United States, Freemasonry is deeply infiltrated, not only in our government system, but also in our military, in our police, our firefighting systems. Even the symbol of Masonry, the five-star Pentateuch, is classically known as a satanic symbol. We have the all-seeing eye on our dollar. We have Novus Ordo Seclorum, the New World Order, which is the Masonic theme. So deeply entrenched in American civil service is also Masonry.
Alright, so as y'all heard him say, and as you guys see in the title, we're going to be talking about Freemasons and how they have infiltrated the government, more specifically, the police department, the state troopers and all of them. So, as you heard him say, he was saying that he had a friend, a buddy of his, who had hurt his thumb while he was fixing his car, and so he had went to a local mechanic, and since his thumb was hurting, when he shook the man's hand, he had his thumb like in versus on top of the handshake. And the guy was like, "Oh, are you a brother?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, I just thought you were a brother. You were at the local lodge." So he's obviously saying, "Oh, I thought you were a Freemason. You were a Masonic brother." But anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump dive into this. As you hear him say, he said they've infiltrated the government, police departments, teachers, everything. New World Order, it's on the dollar bill, which is the most blatant one. If you look at the dollar bill, literally got the all-seeing eye, which is really just the eye of Horus as they get straight out of Egypt, Kemet, whatever you want to call it. So, jumping right in, we have this Fraternal Order of Police. It says the voice of our nation's law enforcement officers. They try to give it some catchy, cute little name. But let's go ahead and jump deeper into this. So, looking right at it, we got a 5-pointed star, which is coincidentally, a 5-pointed star that Freemasons also have, and that's to worship Lucifer, Satan, or Baphomet. They got many deities that they worship, so it's quite a coincidence that there's also a 5-pointed star on the Fraternal Order of Police. You also see a handshake on the bottom right, which I was speaking of earlier, which is, the handshake of, again, the Masons when they give each other that handshake. And then we have an eye, which is, they claim it is, the eye that watches the community. But could it also be in the all-seeing eye? And then we have a little castle, and right beneath it, we got like 3 little dots, which actually signify 3 pillars. And if you go to a Masonic lodge or Grand Lodge or whatever, you'll see 3 pillars, and that also has a Masonic meaning. So again, another coincidence. And then you see a little checkered little like driveway, little lane right beneath it, which is signifying good and bad, positive energy, negative energy, feminine energy, masculinity energy. So it's quite a lot of coincidences that are, associated with Masons, and then coincidentally the Fraternal Order of Police has it. But moving on, it says Fraternal Order of Police. The Fraternal Order of Police is a fraternal organization consisting of sworn law enforcement officers in the United States. It reports a membership of over 355,000 members organized in 2,100 local chapters, state lodges, and the National Grand Lodge. So, they got local chapters, they got state lodges, and National Grand Lodges, just like, coincidentally, Freemasons. They organize in local lodges, and they also have grand lodges. And it said, they boast, 355,000 memberships. So I went ahead and typed, how many police officers on the U.S. And it said in 2021, there were 660,000 full-time law enforcement officers. So that means, just about what, half of the police are Freemasons. That's not looking good, man. So if you got 10 people up in your house that are cops, 5 of them are Freemasons, and we definitely know the Freemasons is out to get us. So that just shows you that, it's not a few cops who are Freemason, because people might say, oh, well, it's not the whole organization, or it's not the whole people. No, it's damn near the whole organization. It's half the police in the U.S. are Freemasons. So moving on again, let's go ahead and take a look at this logo. Like I said, we got the all-seeing eye, we got the handshake, we got all of that. So now let's take a look and see what, the Masons, they have as their symbology, a few known symbols that we know. So top left, we got a handshake, which coincidentally looks like the Fraternal Order's handshake. We got, I forget what that mathematical tool is called, but it's like a mathematical tool where you find the perimeter, circumference, some shit like that. But Freemasons, that's like the most obvious, most like popular symbol for Masons is that, and then they got the G in it, which a lot of people say it stands for God, or it stands for giver, or it stands for a bunch of other things. Well, I guess we'll never know because we're not really a part of it. But we see what else we got. They got another 5-pointed star, which, as I said, that's the Jews claim it's the Star of David, but really it's not. It's them worshiping Lucifer. And again, we got another 5-pointed star there. We have, the man in the top hat with his hand up and his other hand inside his shirt, which also signifies like feminine energy, masculine energy. And you see all the other people next to him with their hand inside their shirt. Again, that's a known Masonic stance. You have right beneath that, you have a guy would appear to have a blindfold on his eyes. He's naked and he has his hand on the altar, and you can't see it, but they're doing a blood oath, which is where he takes the oath to, keep the truth, not to give it to any outsiders who aren't Masons. We got, the all-seeing eye on the very far right, which, again, is the Eye of Horus that they took out of Egypt. You got the moon, the stars, the sun, and in the bottom right, you got Baal, Baphomet, many deities, different deities that they worship. So, like I said, coincidentally, these known Masonic symbols happen to be on, the Fraternal Order of the Police. And if that's not enough, evidence for you to be like, okay, maybe they are, let's just go ahead and look at this article. So, it says Freemasons honor Beverly Hills PD officer Dominique Sandifer and Beverly Hills Fire Department engineer Stephen Hale. What? Hold on. Freemasons honor Beverly Hills police officer and Beverly Hills Fire Department engineer. Whoa. Okay. Maybe you weren't kidding. Maybe these police officers and fire people, or not fire people, firefighters are really Freemasons. And if you look right behind them, there's that symbol of G, and it's like in the sun, which is where they go to worship. They look up there. So I don't know, man. That's also a symbol that is known to be among Freemasons, and it's also a symbol that is in the FOP, the Fraternal Order of the Police. So, I feel like right here alone, I can just stop this video, but I'm not. Obviously, I'm going to keep showing more evidence. And for those of y'all saying that, Freemasons don't exist, Freemasons, aren't real, this is Shaquille O'Neal, who is a known, popular Freemason, posing with his ring. And you look at the ring, what do we have? We have the G in there, and we have, again, that mathematical tool. He's a known Freemason. Motherfucker be on Sports Center with that ring, literally flashing it to the camera. So, y'all motherfuckers that talking about, Freemasons don't exist, and there's no scheme to take over the world. Y'all really gotta be stupid to not see it. Or, I don't know, man. Y'all just gotta be stupid. And this is from the good buddy Ice Cube. He had tweeted this out in 2020. And he said, gang, gang. And what do we have here? We have all the pictures that represents each state department. And it appears that these state departments have the G with that mathematical tool, which is, again, the known Freemason symbol, the most popular one. I'm just going to read a few of the states. Let's see what we got. We got New Mexico State Police, New York State Police, North Carolina, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Oregon. I can't read what those ones are. South Carolina. I think that's Utah. We got Texas Rangers. We got Vermont. We got Wyoming, Wisconsin, West Virginia, and then Virginia State Police. So, and there's only a few of them. Like there's only a few states that he happened to tweet it out. But as you can see, this was literally on their badge, on their patch. It's on their uniform. It isn't no more because, take it off because people were starting to catch on and like, whoa, wait, what? Isn't that a Freemason symbol? So, now they changed it to, a 6-pointed star and try to make it look different. But if we just do a bit of research, we'll see that, whoa, these people is repping, the Masonic badge? Okay. So, again, this was tweeted out by Ice Cube, but you can look this shit up yourself if you think, oh, this is photoshopped. But, anyways, moving on, we're going to now take a look at some of their lodges and, their website because, hey, who knows? Maybe, there's nothing wrong with being a Freemason. It's just, it's maybe some friendly stuff. So, let's go ahead and see. It says, welcome to the New York State Fraternal Order of the Police Lodge 222, Loyal Knights of New York. Doesn't that just have a ring to it? Loyal Knights of New York. That's what they call themselves out there, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds a little weird, Loyal Knights. That sounds like Knights Templar. We all know that was Masonic order. Knights Templar is very popular, just like the Ku Klux Klan. A lot of people don't know that KKK, yes, most of their members are also Freemasons. So, I don't know, man. Looking at this, it's not looking too good. Let's look at another order. It says Crescent City Lodge number 2 of New Orleans up top. So, again, as I told you, they conduct their business in a lodge, and Freemasons also conduct themselves in lodges and grand lodges. So, again, another coincidence that, these police officers are calling themselves Crescent City and Loyal Knights and shit like that. I don't know, man. But keeping it moving, now I'm going to be talking about Aleister Crowley because I've already showed y'all undeniable proof that most of police officers are Freemasons, but I haven't showed y'all why that's a bad thing. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all why that's a bad thing. So right here we got Aleister Crowley, and you can see what he's wearing. It looks that someone would say that's the all-seeing eye. But again, that's just the Eye of Horus taken straight out of Egypt. And that was common knowledge to us black people. And Masons took that knowledge and held it in sects in certain groups. And you had to get initiated into that group to know about it. So when people say, oh, that's, that came from Egypt, Egyptian mythology and Egyptian yada yada, all this is bad. No, it's not. No, it's not. But anyways, that's Aleister Crowley, and then right next to him, you got, the 5-pointed star, which I already said, you know what that represents. That's Satanism. But let's go ahead and read a bit about Aleister. His original name is Edward Alexander Crowley. He was born those dates, yada yada. He was a British occultist, writer, mountaineer, who was a practitioner of magic, as he spelled it. And he called himself the Beast 666. So, in case y'all think that, he's all right. His nickname, he called himself, 666, the Beast. So I don't know about y'all, but that kind of sounds satanic. It says he was denounced in his own time for his dissident lifestyle and had few followers, but he became a cult figure after his death. So while he was alive, a lot of people thought he was crazy. A lot of people were like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Yada yada. But just giving a brief story on his life, he was very rich. His dad was very, very rich, and he inherited all of that after his father died. And he pretty much used all that money on experiments and all types of shit. And growing up, he would just catch rabbits and birds, and he would literally just kill them. He would just cut them open, drain their blood, do all types of crazy shit. And that's him as a kid. So imagine what he was doing now that he grown, okay? But we're going to move on. It says Aleister Crowley's Satanism. This is a collection of quotes from Aleister Crowley showing the importance that the devil, Satan, or Lucifer did indeed have in his religious system of Thelema. So Aleister Crowley pretty much created his own religious / cult, and it was all new ideology. And as I told you, or as I read, it's quotes from him himself. So let's go ahead and see. What we could quote him as saying. It says, "My falling away from grace was not occasioned by any intellectual qualms. I accepted the theology of the Plymouth Brethren. In fact, I could hardly conceive of the existence of people who might doubt it. I simply went over to Satan's side, and to this hour I cannot tell why." So, he's saying he went over to Satan's side. This nigga switched sides. It says, "I resolved passionately to reach the spiritual causes of phenomenon and to dominate the material world, which I detest by their means. I was not content to believe in a personal devil and serve him. In ordinary sense of the word, I wanted to get a hold of him personally and become his chief of staff. So he's saying he didn't, he didn't want to help out a little bit. He wanted to personally get to know the devil and become his personal staff. And if that's not good enough for y'all, wait till we read this. Well, I'm not even going to read it because I don't want to involve with none of this bullshit. But I'm going to just read the title. So he wrote a hymn, a book, pretty much a hymn, and it is titled Hymn to Satan. So this nigga out here blatantly worshiping Satan, and Freemasons follow him, which I'm not going to knock Freemasons. Most Freemasons don't know that they're actually worshiping, evil, the devil, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him. Most don't know that they're actually worshiping that. It's not until you get to the 30th degree and up, that's when they reveal to you that, hey, this is what's really going down. So all the, Freemasons that be on TikTok and on YouTube and saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with Freemasonry. Well, that's just because you haven't climbed the ranks yet to know what's up. So moving on, we got Jay-Z, and y'all probably seen him picture with this, do what that will. And that came from Aleister Crowley. He's quoted as saying, do what that will. There's been a few people who have said something along the lines of that before Aleister Crowley, but Aleister Crowley is quoted as saying, do what that will, pretty much meaning, do what you want. So I find it coincidental that, Jay-Z happens to be rocking that same exact word for word verbatim quote. So again, Jay-Z, he a Masonic, he a part of the boule, he out here gatekeeping all the black people and selling them short, selling them out, all that. But anyways, that was just a quick little thing about, Aleister Crowley, and I just wanted to touch on him because modern Freemasonry is influenced by Aleister Crowley, and I just wanted to touch on who he was and what he believed. And now I'm going to touch on Madame Blavatsky. Bitch look ugly, but she pretty much had her own little cult that she created, and let's go ahead and read about her upbringing. So her childhood was an unusual one for her time. Her grandmother was Princess Helena Pavlovna, however the fuck you say that last name, a linguist, botanist, and a woman of science who took an interest in the education of Blavatsky. Imparting her love of knowledge and philosophy to the young girl, her great-grandfather, Prince Pavel, however the fuck you say that, was a major general during the reign of Catherine the Great. He was both a mystic and a Freemason, having been a member of the Rite of Strict Observance in Russia. This rite, founded in Germany in the 1750s by Baron Karl Gottlieb von Huene, was organized around the order's belief and in obedience to certain unknown superiors, mysterious figures who were secretly directing the events of the 18th century. So, I don't gotta say nothing more than that. Madame Blavatsky, her grandmother, was all into science and knowledge and philosophy, and her grandfather was a known Freemason who was a general who also was involved with the mystic arts. So, like I said, Freemasonry took a lot of Aleister Crowley and Madame Blavatsky's teachings, and they incorporated it into their masonry to create modern Freemasonry. So like I said before, when people say, oh, well, nothing's wrong with Freemasonry, well, you just don't know yet, because once you get to the top level, then they're going to let you know what's up. But speaking of which, to get to the top level, you got to initiate yourself. It's called a fraternal order, just like in colleges. It's a fraternal order. You can't just say, hey, I want to sign up. You got to do your dues, pay your respect. So there's many ways of paying your dues. I'm going to play you a video of you paying your dues, and after that, we're going to go ahead and talk. If not, I might make a part 2 of this video. But let's go ahead and see what you got to do to get in. Alright, so y'all seen that nasty ass shit that niggas do to get in the Freemason, or not in Freemason, to a fraternity, which they don't know they getting initiated into Freemasonry. But y'all seen that nasty ass shit you gotta do just to join a frat. And best believe y'all women, I know y'all be doing shit too. I heard all the nasty stories y'all be doing to get into them sororities. But for those of y'all thinking, oh, I didn't have to do that. There's many different types of initiations, and it's all based on how you want to get. But man, you could find videos on YouTube. You can find this shit on Google, bro. They got this one thing called like the elephant or the elephant ride, some shit like that. So all the men are butt naked, dicks hanging out, and they're on their knees and hands, and they're right in front of each other. And the person behind you puts his hands through your legs, grabs your manhood, and then the person behind him grabs his manhood, and then y'all stick each other's noses in each other's asses, and you just on your fucking knees, just walking in a little circle. So I don't know what kind of, I know it's 2023, people could do whatever they want, but I don't know. If you ask me, I don't know, that sounds like some freaky shit. But yeah, so this is just one of the videos. Like I said, you can find plenty on Google if you want to, look at this nasty shit yourself. But moving on, I'm going to get to this cop because, I done all the speaking. I want you guys to hear it, from someone else. So I'm going to play you a few clips. I screen recorded the clips because the whole interview was like 20 minutes. So I just screen recorded like, the good parts. But he used to be a police officer for, I don't know, however many years, but he was a cop. He's retired now, I believe. And he's saying that his boss, asked him if he wanted to be a part of a club, and he got initiated, and he found out that they were worshiping Satan, and he was like, whoa, I got to get out. But real quick, I was in the car, and I was chilling, and then I seen this shit out the corner of my eye, and I was like, whoa, let me record this. So if you look at it, this appears to be, a Masonic temple, a lodge or some shit like that. But if you look at it, there's different, like you see two people standing from each civilization. So I peeped that, they got a bunch of like random people, and I was at first I was like, oh, is this shit random? But then the third one had caught my gaze. They got the cross there. So I was like, oh, okay, they got Christianity or something that represents something. And then the next one was a Sumerian culture. As you could tell by the beard. Well, I don't know how familiar you guys are with that, but the beard, you can see how you can just tell by the beard, the hat, and the chair style. So I was like, oh shit, they got Sumerians on here. And then the last one, which it's gonna be hard to tell because it's a bit blurry, but the last one was, I believe Ra or Horus sitting on the chair, and that I know what that signifies, Egypt mythology and Egyptology. But then I was like, damn, this is a Masonic building, like this shit dead ass out in the open, like these niggas is not hiding it. So for y'all that be like, oh, this shit fake, he nigga, I was just chilling out and about. I was about to go pick up my gun, and I spotted this shit, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? So yeah, this shit real, nigga. Like they got these lodges just chilling, bro. But yeah, so without further ado, I'm gonna play you the video now, and you can hear him talk about what he experienced.
All right, brother. You said that you had also Masonic, right?
Well, my career in law enforcement, I actually joined the Brotherhood of Freemasons.
Okay. Yeah, how'd you get into that?
Man, a lot of cops are involved with that.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's a thing that I'm not saying you must do, but 95% of them do. You know what I mean? Atheists, they don't care. You could be you could be a devil worshiper. Wow. And they'll bring a devil worshiping Bible right there, satanic Bible, so you could you take the oath. Yeah, they don't care. See, I didn't know that until I started doing more homework on it. What did I get myself into? But
did you ever get that far?
Oh yeah, I became a master mason.
Okay.
I mean, the highest you can go is 33rd, but
okay.
Even at 32nd, see from the ranks of 30th to 33, which is 3, that's when they divulge the actual truth to you.
I got you.
Which they have you in darkness all those years, and then once you start climbing up the rituals and the phases, and you go up the ranks or degrees,
right.
We call it. You could go from the 3rd degree to the 32nd degree in a weekend.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you could do it in 2 days. They call that the fast track. But usually to get that high, it takes years. It takes years, but you could do it the other way. You got to pay some money or talk to whoever.
I heard that some people, if I might be mistaken, but I know some of these rich people, these Hollywood people, they give land, millions of dollars.
Oh yeah. It all depends because those are called dues, right?
Okay.
And you talking about occultic, satanic individuals that work in Hollywood, reverence, of money, of people of power. I didn't know all that.
In the colleges.
Oh yeah, the Alpha Catas and all them. That's all Greek.
Yes.
And a lot of them becomes after a while, they'll become bones and skulls.
Wow.
Oh yeah, especially if you're in Yale. That's where they come from, But they do you have to be a master mason before you become anything else. Depending on your upward mobility, and rituals. The quicker you get them done, the quicker things are revealed to you. But like I said, you could go as high as you want. If you got money, you could buy your way up. Honorary. You know how many times they give honorary doctorates that people never ever been in college?
Yeah.
For example, Bill Cosby got an honorary doctorates, right? So they jacked him up with some of these women and stuff. They took it away. But he's a Freemason. You have to go through rituals first. The first phase is the inner apprentice phase. That's phase one. And, you do your rituals. They take you in and they tie a toe to your ankle, made of...
Tie a toe?
A toe, yeah, ankle toe. They call it the ankle toe. And it's made out of... what do you call it? It's like a harness. It's like a tie. They tie it around your leg and they raise your pants leg up and you're there in a suit and then you go around. You're blindfolded so you can't really see the actual temple. It's a temple. You got Joaquin and Boaz on one side. The two towers, which is the two pillars. So the Freemasons.
This is like big time.
Oh, it's a ritual.
This is like sacred stuff, like
of a goat.
Wow.
So they worship that. That's Lucifer. All right, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
They eat fecal matter. They drink urine. I mean, it's disgusting. I never did that. I never got that high up to do nothing like. But when you're up there and they expose everything to you at the 30th to the 33, you're done. You're selling yourself to the devil at that point.
And then not only that, you're sworn to secrecy. Yeah,
you sworn never to divulge any information, but to always protect and help your fellow brother. That's it. Yeah.
And that was the pretty first step. And then what was the second?
The second is fellowcraft. That's the second degree, fellowcraft. Okay. Same kind of rituals, but it's now you go from raising your pants, like trousers on the right. Now you're gonna do it on the left, and now you got a different ankle toe with a ball.
Man, that's crazy.
And then you blindfolded. They take you, the actual officer. They call them officers, the ushers. I call them ushers. They usher you around, and you got to bow where you have to bow, and you got to, do what you got to do, and and they mold them the way that they want them to go.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Or satanic ritual abuse. That all comes together with the Freemasons.
So their ultimate goal is pretty much to have one world order,
one world religion,
and one world
currency. Yep.
To eventually rule the world.
Rule the world, right?
Which is to usher in also
the Antichrist.
The Antichrist, mark of the beast, and so
Mark
on.
of the beast, right.
So you've seen all this firsthand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, firsthand. I mean, I've seen the rituals. I see where they imitate them trying to kill you.
Wow.
When you get in your masters, they put you, like, they simulate that they're stabbing you, and they killing you like Tubal Cain,
So in other words, like you almost have to... Kind of like the way we have to be reborn.
Yes, they're making a mockery out of baptism.
Right, and it's actually reversed. And you know what? The devil works like that because. So if we have to be reborn, they pretty much say you have to
die first.
You have to kill yourself for the devil. Yeah. Wow.
So just like like the satanic baptism, they baptize them in blood in like a cast iron bathtub.
Right.
If you see the videos that you see, like this girl named Rihanna is one of them that she's done blood sacrifices, and she's done a blood baptism, but they won't show blood in the bathtub. They show water, but it's symbolic. The water, their water, is symbolic to blood.
Right.
The rock, you know, Jay-Z calls this the rock. It's a pyramid.
Right.
All right. But in that pyramid, there's 13.
Right. You also got the what was this?
Well, that's the horns of the devil.
Right.
The devil's horns. Yeah. And, you know, that's Illuminati. You could use it for the Shriners use it too.
Right.
That's the Moloch.
Okay.
Moloch is the actual owl that they worship out in California. All these big shots, big corporations, they go there, and that's where they make the presidents too.
Really?
They make presidents there. They know which president they're going to make. They make them. All this political stuff,
right,
that's just BS. That's bullshit.
Why?
That is bullshit. That is the most deceiving thing in America. They know which the Rothschilds makes the presidents. They're trillionaires. They own the world. They own like 90% of the world.
Yeah, and plus, if you have all these superstars and all these,
you
actors,
control their puppets.
Well, and not only that, they got the money to buy land.
Oh yeah.
And eventually, it's going to be one government.
Yes.
Or one secret government, should I say? The Illuminati or the Masons.
Right.
Who will control all this land?
But see, the Masons are the foot soldiers of the Illuminati. You understand the pyramid, right?
Yes, yes.
It's shaped like a triangle, right? So we're at the very bottom.
At the very bottom.
And then above that, you got different families. You know, different. Above that, you got York Rite, Scottish Rites, which are also sets of different branches of Freemasons. And then you go into Knights Templar, and you got so Shriners.
I guess that's where you get the all-seeing eye from.
The all-seeing eye is Lucifer.
Right.
Underneath them is the Rothschilds. Underneath them is the Council of 13. Or the Council of 33. Or 13. No, 13. Underneath them, you got the Council of 33. Underneath them, you got big, different corporations like the CFR.
Wow.
Council of Foreign Relations. And underneath them, you got, like 6 big companies that own all the, they own all the real estate, and they own all, like, media outfits, I said media, they own all different types of...
Yeah, like those people who are like Warren Buffett, who owns...
Well, yeah, he's a 33rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they own, property, they own land, they own...
Stocks, everything.
Everything. So you got 6 corporations in the world that owns 90% of the assets and the money of the world, right? Start exposing them, they'll go after you, they'll go after your family, they'll try to kill you because the government is part of it. It's not only civilians, the government is in cahoots with these people.
Right.
And in there's sectors throughout the whole country that's split apart. I don't know if it's north, east, south, and west, but they have witches that are in charge of these sectors and warlocks that are in charge of these sectors, and they pretty much monitor the satanic, I'm going to use the satanic, members. Mm-hmm. Like they call it congregation too, just the opposite of being a Jesus believer. I don't want to use the word Christianity. Yeah. But I want to, believers, right? So they have specific warlocks and, Council of 13 witches, which are either male or female, and pretty much they're in charge of thousands of members of the congregations and the local witches and warlocks that are in charge of that congregation.
Wow.
And a lot of them are politicians, heavily involved in witchcraft. And they have to do certain rituals and certain things in order for them to gain favor with the Rothschilds, and then they send orders of doing things for that family.
Wow.
They give them orders, and with those orders money comes with it.
And so like the exact same way we try to expand the kingdom of God,
they're doing it the other way.
Oh
yeah, it's satanic at the core. This whole country is not based upon Christianity. It's satanic from head to toe. It's different. Because in order for you to be a Shriner, you got to be a Mason. For you to be a Knights Templar, you got to be a Mason. And the more you go up in that pyramid, and the highest you could go is a Rothschild.
Right.
They're the highest of the highest.
Really?
Yeah, they're the satanic children of Satan.
Wow.
They actually sit on the table, and they have a special chair for Satan right there. And he comes and talks to these family members, and they're the ones that the shaking and bakers, I call it.
Now, this all has to do also with the those people who go out into the wood and they burn that wooden owl and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you talking about those the Illuminati?
Illuminati. Okay, so
Right.
this has to do with them.
Oh
too?
yeah, you have to be a Freemason to be that. All the presidents were Freemasons.
Okay.
A small portion weren't, but they were Jesuits. This is the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, even the Pope. They don't.
Right.
And they'll. I'm going to be honest. They don't actually have to do the whole ritual. They have to watch.
Right.
And because of their power and rank within the church.
But it's still controlled by them.
Oh yeah, everything is controlled by the white and black Pope.
Yeah.
So black and white, which is white and black tiles, is where we have our temple.
That's where you get that.
Yeah,
okay.
the yin yang. You know, the
Right.
good versus evil. You got to have one of the balance. And that's the work of the devil. God doesn't work that way. He doesn't manifest that way. That's all the trick of the devil. You know, the devil knows the Bible better than me and you put together.
Right.
Because he was there when God was putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he fell. Of course, but he knows.
Yeah.
He could twist the word of God and make it so clean like honey in your mouth.
All right, so y'all heard what he said. He talked about the rituals. He talked about, just like how I said, the fraternities. It's initiation to becoming a Mason, but they don't know about it. But he talked about the blood baths, all that. One thing he didn't say is that these police officers, one way to get initiated is by killing someone. So that's why you see a lot of black people dying to, police, and they just put him on, disciplinary leave and for 2 weeks, which is pretty much just saying, hey, congratulations, welcome to the club. You killed a black person. Welcome to the club. So y'all gotta understand that they hunting us because, nigga, that's the initiation. But moving on, next clip I'm going to play is from this FBI informant. I think he was doing like 10 years undercover, trying to expose the KKK and find out who they were. And he says, which you'll hear him, he says that there were state officials, law enforcement, and federal officials that were in the KKK. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip, and y'all can hear him say it.
Over the 10-year span of my operations, I uncovered people that were former military, current military, former law enforcement, current law enforcement, state, local, and county level.
Moore says the 3 current and former prison guards implicated in the murder plot were also actively recruiting new Klan members at the prison. But Florida's Department of Corrections disputes that, telling the AP that the agency found no evidence of wider membership or a systemic problem, and saying in a statement that, quote, any willful breach of our values or participation in illegal activity by FDC staff will result in disciplinary action up to and including dismissal and arrest.
That statement by the state is not accurate based on the facts. From where I sat with the intelligence laid out, I can tell you that none of these agencies have any control over any of it. It is more prevalent and consequential than any of them are willing to admit. If you want to know why people don't trust the police, it's because they have a relative or a friend that they witness being targeted by an extremist who happened to have a badge and a gun.
So, as y'all heard, my boy said that the government didn't have control of the situation, and he said that, that shit was running rampant in law enforcement, in the military, in state, local, and county level governments. So, he's telling you, an FBI informant is telling you that these niggas do not have control over what's going on, and they have infiltrated. So, best believe if the fucking KKK can infiltrate, then the fucking Freemasons and the real niggas who got a real plan can infiltrate. So, I don't need to speak on that any much further. I'm going to play this last video, and it is a board meeting, and one of the members happens to be a Freemasons, and he's pretty much says what I've been saying, which is he says that most of the founding fathers were Freemasons, most of the people who fought in the Revolutionary War were Freemasons, George Washington was Freemason, everyone was Freemason. So, I'm going to go ahead and play it. Y'all could hear it from his mouth himself, and yeah, I don't know what else to tell y'all after this, so I don't know, man. Y'all niggas could pray. Y'all could read a book. I don't know, bro. Just be prepared.
Yes, Mr. I certainly don't have a lot to respond except for the fact that I am past master of my lodge and a Freemason, and very proud of the fact. And I think it's interesting to listen to a debate that says that points toward Freemasonry as an occult when 36 of the 50 signers of the Declaration of Independence, all of the generals in Washington's army, and everyone who participated in the Revolutionary War were basically Freemasons. And if you look at how the foundation of the country was put together, it's on Masonic principles. So I think it's certainly an interesting debate that's probably not appropriate in this public forum, but I would certainly encourage people that have a different viewpoint to study the Freemasonry organization a little closer. Thank you.